Welcome. Trauma is my jam, and by that I mean I help you understand what's going on inside your body. Let's make sense of it together.
Isolation, it's my protection. And not because I don't care about people, because listen, I care deeply about people. And I don't isolate because I want to be alone all the time. I do it because somewhere along the way, my nervous system learned that reaching out, well, it wasn't safe. I think a lot of people misunderstand isolation. From the outside, it looks like distance, avoidance, disconnecting, and not caring. But I'm here to tell you, isolation is a nervous system protection pattern. Because if vulnerability has historically led to disappointment, being misunderstood, being blamed, shamed, or feeling guilty for having needs at all, well, then your body learned something. It learned that connection doesn't feel safe. And when the nervous system learns that, withdrawal can start to feel safer than actually reaching out. There's also another part of this that I've learned a lot through my own self-reflection. Here's the thing. When I'm struggling, when I'm overwhelmed, or when I'm emotionally going through something heavy, I isolate. Isolate. I withdraw. I respond less. I go quiet, especially socially. And I learned really on in my life that it was safer to handle things myself. And that when things felt too big, too emotional, too overwhelming, well, it was better for me to go inward than to reach outward. It was better for me to figure out how to do it, how to move through the process on my own. So over time, that became my pattern. And honestly, I don't really carry shame about that anymore because I now understand where it came from. And so I get that my nervous system is trying to protect me from being hurt. Absolutely makes sense. I also have come to understand that this isn't about me hurting people, and it's definitely not about me caring, which I think I've always known that because, listen, I care a little bit too much about people. That would be probably my superpower and my kryptonite. So it was never about caring. It was never about wanting to disappoint people or upset people or make people feel like I didn't care. But this is about my nervous system trying to protect me the best and, well, frankly, the only way it's ever known how. So at the same time, as I say this, I understand that my withdrawing impacts the people around me. And listen, both things can be true. People are allowed to feel however they feel about it, and I'm allowed to honor what feels emotionally safe and manageable for me while still moving through something difficult. And that's been a really important part of healing for me. Learning that I don't have to shame myself for needing space. And again, the last thing I want to do is hurt anybody or upset anybody or make anybody feel like they don't matter in my life. But I have to take care of me first. And this is the only way I know how to do it. So now, instead of pretending I'm okay or forcing myself to show up in ways my system can't sustain, because I did that for years, what I do now is I try to communicate honestly. I try to say, hey, I'm struggling right now, or I'm processing, or I'm moving through something right now, and it's not personal. And honestly, some people understand that, and some people don't. And listen, that's okay too. Because healing doesn't have to look like forcing myself to stop needing space. Healing looks like slowly teaching my nervous system that safe connection can exist without me abandoning myself. And listen, this is something I'm still actively working on because for those of you like me who go through the difficult times and process through the things on your own, it's lonely. Safe, but lonely. And I mean, I'm a therapist. I work in mental health. I encourage people all the time. You need community. You need community. And you do need community. And I have community, don't get me wrong. But I still isolate when things are tough and I'm going through a process because that's what feels safe to me. And at first I thought I had to change that. At first I thought, oh my God, you like have to fix that, Pam. What I learned is that healing from this trauma response does not require me to jump out and to force myself to do things or be in situations or connect with people when my system is overloaded and not wanting to. I learned that healing can look like small changes. So for me, that's replying instead of disappearing completely. For me, that's being honest with the people in my life instead of masking. That's me saying, hey, would love to get together with everybody right now, but I'm not feeling it right now. And I'm okay, and I'm moving through a process, and this is just what I need to do for me. So just being honest and just saying, hey, yeah, I'm going through something right now, and the way that I move through it is on my own. One of the other small changes that I'm working on that I gotta tell you is so fucking hard is reaching out to one safe person instead of reaching out to nobody. And let me tell you, just saying that to you is making me extremely emotional right now in this moment because I am currently moving through some stuff right now, and I'm isolating again. And that's okay. It's a long weekend here. My husband and son have attended 3 bonfires this weekend with our friends, and I have not attended any one of them. Now, I did let people know that I was not attending and that I miss them, but I'm just not able to right now. So yeah, reaching out to one safe person is still so fucking hard to me. But I did that this week. I did do that this week. So I'm going to give myself credit for that right now because that was a fucking big leap. But my point is that healing looks like small steps. And so those small steps eventually lead to bigger steps later on down the road. And so every time you take a small step and add a small moment of safe connection, your nervous system learns that I don't have to do this on my own. For me, the biggest reframe that I want you to take from this all is that isolation was never the problem. But isolation became the solution to your nervous system when it found connection, stopped feeling safe. And that's the honest to God truth. I grew up in an environment where connection was not always safe. And I say that with love and gratitude and kindness for the situation I did grow up in. But I learned very early on that if I was moving through something or I had to process through something or something difficult or challenging was happening for me, that I could only rely on myself. And that the only way to have safe connection was truly with myself. And again, that's not my fault. I'm not saying it's the fault of my environment. It is what it is. But that is so deeply ingrained in me, this response, this protection mechanism, this way to keep myself safe. And today I recognize it for what it is. It's an adaptation. It's a way that my nervous system and body learned to protect myself from getting hurt. And when I think about it that way, that's a pretty amazing gift. It's a pretty amazing gift. All right. In closing, I want you to know that you're not broken for protecting yourself. Your nervous system learned patterns for a reason. I look back into my own situation and I 100% understand why I isolate when things get tough. Because connection wasn't always safe in the environment I grew up in. So I learned a long time ago that in order to keep myself safe, that I could only rely on myself and that I could only have safe connection with myself, especially when I'm moving through difficult things. And today I know that healing isn't about judging those patterns. It's about helping my body experience something safer. So that's where taking those small steps matter. Responding to the text and saying, hey, sorry, just can't. Or reaching out to someone occasionally, which is still fucking extremely hard for me. God, just saying it makes me want to vomit. But it's through those small moments and those small experiences that I'm reteaching my nervous system that connection can be safe. And it can be safe even when I'm in a dark place. All right, my friends, that is it for today. If you want to learn more about trauma-informed healing and again, how the nervous system is actually working, I have some great educational programs that are available through Insight Learning Institute. And if you're looking for some more personal support on your journey and you feel called to work with me one-on-one, you can find my information in my bio. As always, I thank you for being here and I hope you have a blessed day.